Hello everyone, how you doing today? Welcome to my Zoom training video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to start and run a meeting. So before you are able to start and run a Zoom meeting, there are a few things you will need. First thing you're going to need is to have the Zoom software installed on your computer, tablet, or phone. You can visit the Zoom website at https://zoom.us, this website right here, in order to download and install the Zoom software onto your computer, or you can visit the Google's Play Store if you have a Android tablet or phone to get the Zoom app, or if you have an iPhone, you can visit the Apple Store in order to get the Zoom app installed on your phone, on your iPhone or your iPad. The other thing you're going to need is to have your own Zoom account. You can sign up for a Zoom account by visiting this website here, and you can sign up for free. You won't have to pay in order to sign up. The other thing that you would need after you have these two requirements established is that you will have to already have created a meeting. If you don't know how to create a meeting, please view my previous video on how to create a meeting. So let's talk about how to start and run a meeting. The first thing you need to do is to launch your Zoom software. Now that my Zoom software is open, I'm going to just simply sign in to my account. So I'm going to type in my username, which is my email, and my password. And then I'll click sign in. So now as soon as I sign in, as you can see, I am in my Zoom dashboard where I can join a meeting, I can start a new meeting right away, I can schedule a meeting or share my screen. Now, if you notice on the right, you will see that I have an upcoming meeting. You see the meeting name, you see the time of the meeting, and of course it says now because it is now past the time that the meeting is scheduled to begin. And then you see the meeting ID, and then you see the start button. So all you have to do is just simply click on start. Okay. And then click on join with computer audio. And then you get the message you're using the computer audio. Okay, so now that we are in our meeting, which we started, so let me show you all of the controls at your disposal as the host of this meeting. And keep in mind that since you started this meeting, since this is your meeting, you are the host of this meeting, which means you have all the controls, not only of the meeting, but of the activities of your participants. So yes, you are able to control the activities of your participants, which I'm going to show you how to do right now. So in your control panels, which is here at the bottom of your Zoom software, you see you have some things here that you can do. So here you have your microphone icon. You can mute yourself so that way no one can hear you and you get the message saying that you are muted. You can unmute yourself. Okay, you can stop your video, and when you stop your video, what you will see is the picture that you uploaded to your profile in your online account, on your online account. So whatever picture you uploaded to your online account, that is the picture that will appear here. If you did not upload a picture to your online account, your name will appear. Your first name and last name will appear here. And of course, you can start your video. Now, as you can see, this is my virtual background. Okay. In order to get a virtual background, you just simply click on the up arrow here and then click on choose virtual background. And you can choose from any of these virtual backgrounds that is available to you. Now, since I have already chosen a virtual background, I'm just going to leave it as is. You also have all of these other settings here where you can configure your Zoom software. Now, I'm not going to go into too much details of the settings or the video or audio. I did that in my video, how to join a meeting. So if you want to get the details of the settings and the microphone and the video, please watch that video, how to join a meeting. The other things that you have available to use, you have this security. This is not available if you are a participant joining a meeting. This security icon, you just simply click on it, and here you can lock the meeting. What that means is that when you have lock meeting checked, that means that nobody else can join your meeting. Okay? And the good thing about it is that once you have all of your participants, all of the people that you expected to join your meeting, to be in your meeting, you can lock the meeting to prevent any other intruders or anybody else from joining your meeting. If you have some of your participants who is not in your meeting yet and you lock the meeting, those participants will not be able to join the meeting. You also have enable waiting room that you can check and uncheck. And I explained what the waiting room is in my previous video, how to create a meeting. So please check that video out so that you can get the detailed definition of the waiting room. Here you have allow participant to share screen. Now, in my case, it's not checked, which means none of my participants can share their screen. Okay, and then you have chat and you have rename themselves. Now, in some cases, you may want to keep that check, or in many cases, you may want to uncheck that just in case so that people, your participants, won't be able to change their names and you'll be able to easily identify your participants. And then, of course, you have the participant icon. You click on that and you get the participant sidebar where you get to see all of your participants that is in your meeting. You get to see the names of all of your participants in your meeting. And of course, you have at the bottom, you have invite, you have mute all, and you have unmute all. And of course, here, this is me, which is the host of the meeting. I can mute myself, I can unmute myself, I can rename, edit my profile picture. So I can do some things here under my account. And then here you have the chat. So if I click on chat, this is the chat sidebar. The chat sidebar will appear when I click on this chat. So this is the chat sidebar. Okay, I went into details about this on how to join a meeting. So please check out that video so that you can get the details. But basically, this is where you and your participants can chat. So whatever you or your participants place here will be seen by everybody. So right now the default is on everybody. Okay, you can click on this and you can see the list of names of your participants in the meeting. If you want to send a chat to a particular person, you can choose that person from here. You can share a file to your participants for them to download into their computer. And then you have these other settings here where you can save the chat, and you can also control how your participants chat with each other. You can say, well, they can chat with nobody, so that means they can't chat at all. They can only chat with the host, they can chat with everybody, they can chat with everybody publicly and privately. So that means that your participants will be able to not only send a chat out publicly, but be able to send a chat to a specific person that even you, the host, will not be able to see. And of course, you can restrict them to just send chats publicly as well. Okay, and then you have the share screen. So you will be able to share your screen as the host. Okay, whatever it is that you want to share on your screen, you will be able to do it. Now, of course, you have this little arrow here where if you click on it, you can set who get to share their screen and how many can share their screen at one time. So here I have one participant can share at a time, which means if you're sharing your screen, nobody else can share their screen. If one of your participants is sharing their screen, that means nobody else can share their screen. If you need for your participants to share their screen all at the same time, you just simply check on multiple participants can share simultaneously. And also, if you click on advanced sharing options, you want to make sure that all participants are selected to be able to share their screen. Okay, so if I click here, and if it's on only hosts, then that means your participants cannot share their screen. Okay, or your, but if you choose for your participants to share their screen, you just have to choose all participants. And then here you have who can share, who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. Right now is only the host can do that, but you can also choose all participants. That means that if somebody's already sharing their screen, then somebody else can come in and share their screen at the same time. And of course, you have these options here. Then you have record. Now, if you're a participant joining the meeting, you will have this record as well. The only difference is that as a participant, you have to get permission from the host to record the meeting. But as the host, you can record the meeting. All you have to do is just click on the button and you have the options. So for me, because I have a paid account, I can record to my computer or I can record to the cloud. What is the cloud? The Zoom cloud, which means that whatever video is recorded will be stored on the Zoom servers. The good thing about it is that you won't have to download, you won't have to upload, you won't have to do any of those things. It will already be there. You will have a link given to you by Zoom, which you can share with your participants. And of course, the disadvantage is that if you want to copy on your own computer or your own device, then you will have to download. Whereas if you record on your computer, you already have your own copy, but you will have to upload it to either Zoom or YouTube or wherever you want to upload it to in order to share it with your participants. So you have those options. The bottom line is that you as the host can record your meeting at any time. Then we have this here called the Breakout Room. This is not available in the participants control panel. What is the Breakout Room? Simple. The Breakout Room is, well, let me give you an example. Let's say you have a meeting with 20 people and you have an exercise for those 20 people to do. But you want to break those 20 people up into groups. You want to break them up into 5 groups of 4 in order to do this exercise. This is where the breakout room comes in. So you click on the breakout room. Okay, let's say you have 20 participants. You can, right now it's showing 0 because I have no participants right now. But let's say you have 20 participants and you want to assign 4 participants to a room, which means you want 5 rooms. All you have to do is just select 5 rooms, and you can either put your participants in a room manually, or you can have Zoom do it for you, which means if you choose automatically, Zoom will do it for you, and Zoom will do it randomly. So Zoom will randomly put people in each of the rooms, or again, you can do it manually. After you do that, you just simply hit create rooms, and now you have your breakout rooms. And then you can just simply click assign, and you will be able to see. Right now I don't have any participants, which is why this come up, but when you click on assign, you should be able to see the names of your participants, and you will be able to assign whoever you want to breakout room number 1, for example. Okay, and then you have these options here: move all participants into breakout room automatically, which you can check, but once you create the rooms, that should happen anyway, because if you have chosen that when you were choosing the number of rooms that you wanted. Allow a participant to return to the main section at any time. So if you have this check, they will be able to leave the breakout room. Your participants, they will be able to leave the breakout room and rejoin the main section. Breakout room close automatically after 30 minutes. You can choose your time, the time of duration of your breakout rooms. Like how long is the small groups going to go on for? And then here you have the countdown after closing breakout room. So basically what this is that when it's time for the breakout room to close, or when it's time for it to come to an end, this countdown clock will come up in the breakout room, whatever time you set here. So right now it's set for 60 seconds. So when it's time for the breakout room to end, then each participant in each of their breakout rooms, they will get a clock that will tell them they got 60 seconds more, and it will continue to count down until it reaches to 0, and then everybody will return to the main meeting automatically. You can add a room, you can open all rooms, you can recreate the rooms if you want. So you have all of these things at your disposal. And then of course you have your reaction, which is available in both hosts and participants. So you can clap, send a clap reaction, you can send a thumbs up reaction, and then you have the end button where you can end the meeting at any time. So now I am going to have a participant join me in a meeting, in this meeting. Okay, so now as you can see, I have a participant in the waiting room. I have a participant waiting to join this meeting. As you can see, it says one person is waiting. I can send them a message. Okay, what this means is that this person is attempting to join this meeting and has been placed into the waiting room, the virtual waiting room. It is because I have the waiting room enabled here. Anybody who seeks to join this meeting, any participant who seeks to join this meeting will be placed into that virtual waiting room. The good thing about the waiting room is that each person in the waiting room will not be able to see or hear each other, and they will not be able to participate in the meeting yet until they are admitted into the meeting. So they are not yet in the meeting. They are waiting to come into the meeting. And here, as you can see, I have this notification that this person is waiting. So I can admit them or I can remove them. Okay. And it is my understanding that if I remove them, they will not be able to join this meeting again at all. They can try, but they will not be able to come into this meeting once I remove them. And the other good thing is you can also see who is trying to come into your meeting. So if this person is familiar or recognizable, so let's say you're hosting a webinar and you're expecting people to register for that webinar, you can see if this person is one of the registrants of your webinar before you either admit them or remove them. If they are not, then you can just simply remove them. But if they are registered for your webinar, you can just simply admit them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and admit this person into the meeting. Give it a moment for them to be joined into the meeting. So now that I have a participant in a meeting, in this meeting, I can communicate with that participant. I can interact with this participant. This participant can interact with me. Now, here are some of the things that I can do with this participant. I can, if I click on this participant from the participant panel, I can ask them to start video. So if I click on that, they'll get a message saying, please start your video. I can also make this participant the host. I can rename. I can put into the waiting room. I can put this participant right back into the waiting room. I can remove them, or I can report them to Zoom. If this is some kind of imposter or someone trying to do malicious thing in this meeting, then they can be reported to Zoom. Okay, so as you can see, this participant is muted. You can see it here, and you can also see it up here. Okay, you can unmute your participant. You can either do it here or you can do it here. And what's going to happen is if I click on unmute, the participant will get a message asking him to unmute himself. Okay, so he can adhere to that message. Let's say that he does, and now he is unmuted. But guess what? I can also mute the participant as well. And I do have these controls here, which is the same as these controls. Okay, so if I click on these three dots, I can unmute. I can ask to start video, chat, rename. I can make the host. I can remove, report, put into the waiting room, or just simply hide participants who don't have video. So maybe they dial in by phone. I can hide them. The other thing that I can do is remember the breakout room. So let me demonstrate the breakout room. So if I click on breakout room, and I'm just gonna have, well, let's say I have 2 rooms. And then I click on create rooms. As you can see, Zoom has assigned my participant into breakout room number 1. Okay, I have the option of moving this participant to breakout room number 2. So let's say I click on that, and then I just simply say breakout room number 2, and now this participant is now in breakout room number 2. So now after I have all of my participants in their breakout rooms, I'll just simply click on open all rooms. Once I click on that, now the breakout room has started, and this participant, which is not yet joined to breakout room number 2, will get an invite to join this breakout room. So all we have to do is just wait until this participant join this breakout room. Okay, so now as you can see, our participant has been joined to breakout room number 2, which means that this participant has accepted the invitation to join breakout room number 2 and has now joined breakout room number 2. Notice the participant is no longer here in this main meeting. You no longer see the participant profile picture or video here in this main meeting. That's because they are in the breakout room. Okay. Also, keep in mind that when it comes to the breakout rooms, each room cannot hear what the other room is doing or saying. In other words, the people in breakout room number 1 cannot see or hear the activities in breakout room number 2. Only the people in breakout room number 1 can hear each other and see each other and see what each person is doing in breakout room number 1. So all activities is confined to each breakout room. Not even the host can see or hear what the people in each breakout room are doing or saying. Not even the host. The only way the host will be able to hear or see what each person in each breakout room is doing is for the host to join a breakout room. Now, the host can join any breakout room he or she wants. However, the host cannot join all the breakout rooms at once. The host can only join one breakout room at a time. So, for example, I can join breakout room number 1. So I click on join. I get this join breakout room number 1. I'm going to just say no because there's nobody in breakout room number 1. But I want to join breakout room number 2. I want to see what this participant is doing. So I just simply click on join and then I hit yes. And then I will be proceeded to breakout room number 2. And now, here I am in breakout room number 2 with this participant. I get the message I'm muted because I just muted myself. So now here I am in breakout room number 2 with this participant. So now I can interact with this participant. I can see him, I can hear him. Okay. And then at any time, I can leave this breakout room. Okay, so I can either click this button here, say leave room, or I can just click on the breakout room icon and then click on leave. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave right now. And then I will be right back into the main meeting or the main section as it is said. So let me open up my panels again. And of course I'm still muted. And so some other things that can be done. So let's say I want to send a message to everybody in the breakout room. All I have to do is just click on broadcast a message to all. So I click on that and I just simply type my message. Let's say group meeting will end in 1 minute. Or let's say 5 minutes. Okay? And all I have to do is just click on broadcast. And everybody in each of the breakout room will get that same message. So this participant will receive that same message, will receive that broadcast message. Now, also keep in mind that the chat is confined to the breakout room. So any chat that happens within the breakout room stays within the breakout room. It will not be public. Okay, and then at any moment, at any time, you can close the breakout room. So all you have to do is just click on close all rooms, or you can just let the time expire, the time that you set for the breakout rooms. But in this case, I'm going to click on close all rooms. And then we get the countdown clock, which begins from 60 seconds. Not only do I, as the host, see the countdown clock here, but the participant will also see the countdown clock. All of the participants in each of the breakout rooms will see the countdown clock. Okay, so we just gonna go ahead and let the clock run out. It's 25 seconds. Now, the participant can leave the breakout room at any time before the time expires. If you have configured that setting. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. And now we should be expecting the participant to be brought back into the main meeting. And now we can go ahead and delete breakout room number 1, breakout room number 2, and then close the breakout room dialog box. And now, as you can see, my participant is back in the main meeting. Okay, and then at any time, at any moment, you can end the meeting. And when you click on end the meeting, it will end the meeting for everybody. Okay, now the other thing too is that your participant can leave the meeting at any moment, at any time, because they have that option, that button that says leave meeting on their Zoom software, whether it be on their computer or on their phone or tablet. So let's say I click on end the meeting. So I click end the meeting, and now I have two options. I have end meeting for all. What that means is that once I click that button, the meeting ends for everybody. That means there is no more meeting. Okay, not only am I coming out of the meeting, but the meeting is over for everybody. Nobody else will be able to meet. Or you can just simply leave the meeting. Now, if you leave the meeting, you're going to have to set a host for the meeting. So if you click on leave meeting, it says assign a new host. You can assign this participant to be the host of the meeting, because every meeting must have a host. Okay, and if you as the host have to leave the meeting, maybe you need to leave the meeting early, then you will need to assign a host of that meeting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end the meeting for everybody. And now the meeting has ended, which means that the participant is no longer in the meeting. So that's it. That is how you create and run a Zoom meeting. Thank you for viewing this video, and I will see you next time.